Okay, so today is gonna be my birth story for the birth of beautiful Darnell Ashley Taylor. Here she is. Oh, okay. She wants to eat. Okay, so we might have her in here just for the beginning, and then at the end I'll probably put her down because she looks like she's gonna get upset. So, you're just gonna stare at me? Look this way. Look this way, sweet. She has like a fascination with my hair, and she stares at it and she loves when it's in her face for some reason. Look, sweet. I know, we're both hot. It is hot, all these lights. I know, sweet. I know. Let's get you up here. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I know. That's so sweet. Okay, so my story starts on May 30th. Okay, so interrupting this video because it does not start on May 30th. I forgot to mention what happened the day before. So the day before, on May 29th, I was feeling sick, but not like contraction sick. I was feeling like nauseous, not nauseous, like my stomach hurt really bad. And TMI again, I was on the toilet literally like all day, and I just really wasn't feeling good. Like I couldn't even lay in bed without my stomach hurting. So I was like that the whole night. So I guess that was the 28th. So I was like that the whole night, and then the next day we were like, okay, we need to go to the hospital because I don't know what's wrong with me. So I went to the hospital, and they basically told me that I was having a preterm labor signs, like that the baby was kind of clearing me out. I had also thrown up that night as well. So I guess this is just what my body did before it was getting ready for labor. It was clearing everything out, and it was kind of giving me just a sick feeling. And I guess I was really dehydrated, so they gave me like 3 liters of IV, and we were literally there all day long. So while we were at the hospital, they did have a concern because her heart rate dipped really low. So they called my doctor, and they were actually thinking of inducing me that day because her heart rate went so low. We were there for a total, I think, of 6 hours, and they did release me after that because her heart rate never went down, dipped low again. So I didn't have to get induced. I didn't want to be induced. I didn't feel like I was ready. So they said if I felt good after the medicine and the nausea medicine and the IV and all that stuff, so they sent me home. That's when the next day at 4 a.m. I was having the contractions. So let's continue the story. I woke up at like 4:15 a.m. and I was experiencing some light cramping, and it started to wake me up. That whole day, I would say I was experiencing irregular cramping, and I know it was my contractions, but nothing too unbearable. But I started tracking it on my little app. I'll put what app I used up here. But so I started tracking them. They were really irregular, and oh, I had a doctor appointment that day. So I went into the doctor around 2 o'clock that day, and they checked me, and I was still having my irregular contractions, and I was only like a centimeter dilated. But my doctor came in, and she was like, I'll see you tonight. So I was like, it kind of hit me that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be having a baby today. We went home, and I think we just chilled that day, and I just kept track of my contractions. And then around 7:30, they started getting really intense, and they were like 6 minutes apart, maybe 6 to 5 minutes apart. And I told Jamar, I was like, we need to, you know, probably go soon. So then around, I think like 7:45, almost 7:50 hit, and he was on the phone, and I was like, I'm gonna shower and we need to go because they were getting really intense, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to handle it anymore. So that day, oh, sorry to back up, but that day I ended up like doing my nails, doing my hair. Like I wanted to feel, you know, good before going into the hospital. So anyways, back to when I felt like I needed to go to the hospital. I took a shower really quick. We already had our bags in the car. I had the bags in the car for like 2.5 weeks because I didn't want to, you know, be scrambling and stuff. Yes. So happy. So we're headed to the hospital, and I just have to point out, the moon was so big and full and bright and beautiful that night, but I noticed it, but I was focused on my contractions. So anyways, we get to the hospital and we get there around 8 o'clock, and my contractions are really intense by then. And by 8:30 I was in triage and I was waiting, and the nurse comes in and, you know, she tries to give me my IV, and oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but they were the worst at putting the IV in. It was so uncomfortable. It ended up being uncomfortable to the end of the day. They ended up putting it right, like on the side of my wrist right here. And it was so uncomfortable because I couldn't like bend my wrist. And you need your wrist like when you're holding babies and stuff like that. Huh, you need your wrist so I can hold you.
We're having a baby.
I don't know what to say.
Say something to her, babe.
I can't wait to meet you. I'm scared. We got this.
She got this. I can't wait to meet you. We love you already. Can't wait to see you.
Anyways, so they got my IV into my arm, and the nurse went and checked me again, and I was 4 centimeters. So she cleared me to get my epidural, which I wanted. I was like, I want my epidural as soon as possible. And I'm glad I got it really quick too, and you'll see why later. So the nurse comes in, another nurse comes in, and she preps me for my epidural, kind of lets me know what's going to happen as far as like how I have to lean forward and how my husband can be in there, and just just the whole thing, like what to expect. So I got up and we walked to the other room to get my epidural, and I was terrified to get my epidural, but it actually wasn't bad at all. The nurse was so good. She let me hug her, and she helped me breathe, teach me how to breathe through my contractions so that I wouldn't move when I got my epidural. So I was squeezing her and I was holding her tight, and you know, the doctor went through and they told me what I was expecting to feel, and the epidural went great. It kind of felt like someone hit my funny bone, but like in my spine. It was weird, but it didn't hurt at all. And then so after that, I got to go to my room that I'll be delivering in. And why are you staring at me like that? I got to go to the room I was delivering in, and they laid me down, and I started to feel the effects of the epidural, and my contractions started to go away, and I started to relax, and oh my gosh, it was the best because I was so just chill. And so I think like an hour had passed, so now it's like about 9:30, 9:45, and my nurse comes in and she's like, you know, we're gonna start pushing. Are you ready to push? And I was like, yes, I feel good. Like, let's do this. I don't feel any pain. So my husband was there, and he grabbed one leg, the nurse grabbed the other leg, and I started pushing. And I pushed through 2 contractions, and what you do is you push 3 times for 10 seconds through 1 contraction. So I pushed through 2 contractions, and without saying anything like to freak me out, she said that I needed to go and lay on my left side, and that she's gonna go call, well, they had already called the doctor by now, but she was gonna call the doctor. And I was like, okay. So I wasn't freaked out or anything because she didn't say anything, but I looked at my husband and he was like, so I'm guessing that her heart rate was going down, so they were a little concerned about that. So I laid on my left side, and I didn't do any more pushes until my doctor came in. And when my doctor came in, the whole atmosphere changed. She was ready for business. Oh, is it hot? I just want to show her outfit before she freaks out even more. Isn't she so cute with her little skirt? Oh, it's hot, so she's probably not happy about this. You want to eat, sweet? I'm just gonna hold it like this. Okay, so my doctor came in and she was ready for business. She put on her gloves and she got down there. I flipped back on my back, and my next contraction, I pushed, And so on my second push, so I only pushed a total of 4 times, and all of this only took like 45 minutes. So on my second contraction, I pushed 4 times and they vacuumed her out. And through all this, I'm not feeling anything. I'm having like a great experience. The worst thing was my contractions. So anyways, they vacuumed her out and they put her on my chest, and it was just the best moment ever. She was so beautiful. But it was just the best experience ever. It just went so smoothly, and I couldn't ask for anything, like any better experience than that. As far as like recovery goes, recovery was kind of hard. Not too bad, but it hurt down there. I mean, I have stitches and cuts, and I think the worst part, not to be TMI, was trying to poop. Like, it's just, I don't know, it was just painful. But I had a lot of help from my mom and my mother-in-law, and they've made this experience just really great. Breastfeeding was great. My milk came in within 12 hours of her being delivered, which is kind of unheard of, and I have a lot of milk. So she has fattened up real quick. She didn't really lose any weight after I gave birth, which is also kind of unheard of, but she's been doing good. Breastfeeding was doing good, and then it got a little bit hard for a second because of the cracking and the blisters and the bleeding and all that stuff. And then it got better again. And then I realized, don't wear sports bras when you're breastfeeding. It literally blocks up your milk. And that kind of gave me some pain for a while. But then after I figured out that, I do not wear a bra now. So breastfeeding has been good again. And she likes to eat every 2 hours. But yeah, sorry, it's kind of short. I'm like trying to, you know, deal with her and get my story out. So I know I didn't really explain very well, but everything just went smooth. I had my contractions, went to the hospital, got my epidural, and I literally had her. I was at the hospital for literally only 4 hours before she was delivered. And then everything was good. She passed all her tests, and so here we are 1 month, or I don't know if 1 month, 4 weeks later, and she's doing really good. And while I have the camera out, I was gonna show you guys my postpartum body after 4 weeks. It's been kind of hard to get used to because, you know, it's just, I don't feel like it's not my same body, obviously. Obviously, I've gone down a lot, but if you guys knew me, I worked out, and I had, I ran track most of my life, so I've been pretty in shape. But, so I just do have like this little pooch kind of right here that I want to get rid of. And I did get a lot of stretch marks on my hips, as you can see. And my stomach, without showing it too much, it got kind of like a darker tint. I can't wait till the 7-week mark, which is like July 20th, to get clear so I can work out, and then I'll kind of let you know how my body is progressing as I work out and how I feel, because I don't feel like my body's completely back to normal, but I do feel better as like I can put clothes on and I feel myself. But I know it's gonna take a while to feel 100% back to myself. So I just wanted to give you guys that update as well. I need to feed her. So, sorry, thank you. Yes, we'll eat, I promise. So thank you for watching my birth story. And say hi, sweet. Say hi, sweet. Oh, she's gonna get so mad. Say like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in my next video. Okay. Bye.